My name is Kenneth Yanow. I'm a professor at Southwestern College, which is located about 8 miles north of the border in San Diego, California. And I teach geographical sciences, which is physical geography, oceanography as well, and geographic information systems. I would describe geospatial as any technology used in a spatial context. So if the student is a biology major, I would tell them that biology is a spatial science. The need to understand space is incredibly important in their field. If I talk to somebody who is a political scientist or a business major, I would talk to them about how space is important for their field of study. Then we would segue into exactly what geospatial technology would be for them. A mapping science, remote sensing, global positioning systems, and how all of that can help them better their career by giving them the tool set needed to be successful in their field. You know, I've got an interesting background. I've got a degree in physics, then after physics I went to astronomy, and then after astronomy I went to geography. And the reason why I got the degree in astronomy, then after that went to geography, was because a field like astronomy is distant, no pun intended, but you're studying objects that are very far away. When you talk about geography, it's much more tangible. It's not places per se, it's not capitals, but it's how things and people interact. And so when you talk about geospatial, geospatial is the ultimate science in that regard. It's tangible, it's at home, it helps solve big picture problems. And so for me, when I went back to school and got a degree in geography and I did my studies with solar energy and vegetation and distribution of plants, my joy was taking a look at imagery, studying the imagery, analyzing the imagery, and trying to figure out function. Why is this occurring here? Why is this occurring here over this span of time? That's all geospatial. And so geospatial becomes pretty much a lovely art in science to really understand place. And because of that, I was really drawn to it. And because it is so pervasive throughout a variety of different programs, any spatial entity can utilize geographic information systems or geospatial technologies. It was just an easy marriage for me. It was fun, and to me it offered students the most opportunity to do some good stuff. Yeah, we do have an interesting group of students, very diverse cohort. We are an Hispanic serving institution, and I would say that out of my student population within the geographic information systems and geospatial classes, it pretty much mimics the population of our institution. So keep in mind, with the Hispanic serving institution, we have a cross of financial and social demographics as well. And because of that, we get a really interesting cohort of students. Some are fairly wealthy, some are quite poor, some are first generation going to college. And to see them get excited and interested about something is really quite special. In fact, I remember one of my first years teaching at Southwestern College, I had this student come up to me, and he was a really good student, really good kid, spent a lot of time studying, spent time after class talking to me, and this was a physical geography course. And one day he's walking with me across campus, and he just turned around and he said, "I'm here because I want to be you." And you know, this is a kid, he was a gangbanger, came from a very poor family, Hispanic, and when he said, "I want to be you," you know, that was pretty important to me, because I had never really felt that connection before with the craft that I'm doing, which is teaching, or with a student. And so we get a lot of students like that, first in generation, wanting to make something out of what they have, which oftentimes is nothing. But beyond that, we get the other cohort, which come from affluent families, which are not first in their family to go to school. And so it's a really eclectic and interesting mix of student. The interesting thing with science, math, and engineering fields is it's very one-sided. Gender, it's one-sided. Demographically speaking, it's one-sided as well. The interesting thing with gender, that it's one-sided, is many women and young ladies grow up. They go to school, and there's this perception that they can't do math or they can't do science. They're brought up with this idea. They'll hear it from perhaps their school, maybe they'll hear it from their parents, when the fact of the matter is there's nothing further from the truth. The best students I have oftentimes are the young ladies. And these are young ladies who never ever thought they would find themselves in a science field. However, they saw geospatial and they realized the big problems that it can solve, and they were really drawn to the science, and it became important to them. And so at Southwestern College, we do a lot of outreach. We want to get a diverse cohort of students. We want young ladies to be really excited and interested in geospatial, because once they find out about it, and once they realize they can do it, and once they understand the problems it can solve, then that's pretty much it. They're in it for the long run.